welcome to the India Insurtech series, Women in Insurance. In our podcast titled She Inspires, we engage with women leaders to highlight their distinct perspectives and impact on the insurance industry. This special series celebrates the invaluable contributions of women in leadership roles within the insurance space. I'm Deepthi Bhaskaran from Clinic, a committee member at IIA, and your host for the podcast. Today, we have Ms. Rajeshwari Singh Muni, Chairman and Managing Director of the National Insurance Company, which is one of the four state run insurers in India operating in the non life space. Welcome to the podcast, Rajeshwari.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Yeah.
I'm actually very excited to have you on this show, especially because you bring a wealth of experience of the sector before it got privatized. So, I think I want to start the show by asking you about your experience. What led you to join the sector? And, what was your experience joining the sector? And then, you could talk to us about if things have changed for women in the insurance sector after the sector got privatized.
Thank you for that, Deepthi. So I would start my journey like it is almost 38 years in the insurance industry.
Wow.
So let me be very honest. So, way back in 1987, from a small town then, Bhopal. So I think, not getting through the engineering test, pre-engineering test, the options for me was, preparing for the, competitive exams of banking and UPSC. Those were the two choices. Insurance was nowhere there. And it happened that my father, came across an advertisement in the paper. Those days it was the newspaper advertisement. And he asked me that you better apply for this also. So I think destiny was there, and that is how now I'm in insurance. That
Great.
is how it happened. Insurance was nowhere there. Means I mean to say that insurance was not so popular those days. Banking was, but even in the city of Bhopal, that insurance was so not very popular. Maybe the people whose parents were there in insurance, they were having the idea of getting into insurance. What are the perks? We were not at all aware, like what kind of uh, and that too with New India Assurance advertisement, whether it is an insurance, assurance, private sector, government sector, absolutely clueless on that. But then, yeah, I applied, and as you say, the destiny has to bring me here, so I joined insurance.
Great. So
I
what did
had
you
I
start
had
with?
all the banking offers also on my hand, but then I joined insurance.
Super. But what did you start with? What were you primarily looking at? Or were you doing everything like in the non-life space? Were you looking at health, motor, everything
No,
or
no, 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 no. Let me tell you, I have a long part of my career I have spent in crop insurance. It's
wow.
not the non-life or the general insurance, what you call. I joined in the crop section of the general insurance company that particular point of time. And from 87 to I can say 2019, I was in the space of agriculture and the crop insurance. That is the vast experience of crop, though I was not at all an agriculture graduate, but we have learned all the nuances of agriculture insurance. So that is
Interesting.
how.
Now it's picking up in a big way with especially with all the seasonal changes that we are experiencing. It's
Yeah.
actually become one of the most
We have
important
seen the
portfolios.
different phases of the government schemes, different
Yes.
models of the crop insurance schemes. So that is also coming from a total crop insurance background to non-life was itself a challenge. But I think once you move up the ladder, it is only, it's not that you have to get into the nitty-gritties. It's only how do you manage the things at the
Yes.
corporate, yeah.
Look at the big picture perfectly
Big
well.
picture, right? Yeah.
Yes. So, ma'am, tell me, how was it? I mean, I'm more interested in sort of knowing your journey as a woman in the sector. And this has traditionally been a male dominated sector. So, how has your journey been? And has there anything changed post privatization for women?
Yeah, I will not say privatization, but if I say, the previous, like if you understand insurance when it was not so popular, or rather, it was always been a push product, not a pull product to, say. But I think those days before privatization, it was a kind of monopoly of the government sector. And of course, there are some mandatory things and all, but I'm not talking only about general insurance or non-life, but life as well. So marketing was the main activity, or you say that door to door campaigning, especially for LIC. So you have this agency force who was the distribution network for selling these products. So that was very a male dominant part of it, the distribution network, because you have to do a kind of door to door campaigning. That was how life insurance was sold at that particular point of time. And so also general insurance or non life insurance. So all the marketing activities, I think it was led by the male workforce. But things have changed substantially after that. So even in the distribution network, you can see a good amount of women coming in the front, because you need not do the door to door kind of thing. You have a lot of digital tools available to create the awareness and onboard the customers. That is one advantage people have now. And the mobility and so many other factors, so the time has evolved over the last 3 decades. So now things have changed, and women are coming in the forefront for marketing activities, whether it is off the premises or on the premises. So both the roles are being led, and they are exceedingly, doing very well. The women. That is what I can say.
Great. So now I think one of the things that we've heard in the podcast is that women have joined the insurance sector. So it's not as if you don't see women joining the sector, but of course there's enough data to sort of show that not enough women have made it to the top. There are fewer women at the top. Now, given the fact that insurance is a push product, which means that you need a lot of human touch with the customers, or even the way that you're designing the product, it needs to have the elements of empathy, it needs to have elements of transparency and all of that. I just wanted to sort of understand from you, imagine a scenario where the sector was women dominated, you know, given that situation, what aspects of the industry, or what just two aspects of the industry do you think would have looked very differently, and how?
Oh, I think, I will not see much of a difference, between male and female. But as I said, that insurance is an intangible product. You are selling a promise kind of thing. So that, how much ever technology is there, whether it is during onboarding and during the claim settlement, but the human touch is very, very, very essential, irrespective whether it is a woman or a man. So I think women will be much more, empathetic and sensitive when you are dealing with the customers. You will have the patience hearing to them and giving them the solution. This is what I find different when a woman is handling that particular,
In
situation.
terms- Sure, but in terms of how the sector would have evolved, do you see any major deviation, any major, how things would look very differently? Let's say if we had more women, in leadership role.
I believe that, women have some inherent qualities. Everybody
Yes.
knows, they are patient, they have sincerity, they are goal oriented, they have solution oriented. So all these qualities, make them stand apart in any field. I will not say only in insurance, but any domain you go nowadays, so you find women everywhere and excelling in all the fields. So these are some inherent qualities, multitasking, so which, makes them stand apart in every domain. And so is the case of insurance also. Especially in insurance, I can just relate with my example. I'll tell you, like, I was, as I told you, I was in crop insurance for a long period, and in Andhra Pradesh. And lot of farmers used to visit with their grievances. Crop insurance, you're dealing with the farmers, the poorest of the poor, illiterate. They do not understand the fine print. You have to make them understand. So I used to see that, the farmers, they walk in my cabin, this, with so much of risk control and things like that. But you just make them sit, listen to them, give them the solution, and they go back smiling. And that gives you the biggest satisfaction. So I
Yes.
think that human touch, empathy is very, very important. Like my own, subordinates, they were not able to handle, and they will send it inside my cabin. And they used to ask, Madam, how come, they were shouting over here and making all statements like I'm going to consume a pesticide over here. They used to get afraid. They used to send me inside, these people. And they used to go smiling back. So it's only that empathy with which you listen to them, give them the solution. It's that makes it different for the women, especially in this customer oriented and service sector. It is much, much required, much required.
Got it. So, ma'am, do you think distribution would have looked a lot different if we had more women?
Yes, 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 definitely.
Okay, great. In the sector, what were the challenges that you faced because of the fact that you were a woman? Were there any real challenges that you faced? And yes, of course, how did you overcome those challenges?
Yeah, I would say that yeah, challenges are always there at every stage, but I was very fortunate to have good mentors, good bosses, and equally important is that how do you conduct yourself? How are you aspiring to grow? How are you able to cut across various verticals and learn from the any opportunity which is knocking at your door, not limiting yourself to your own field. So these are the things, but I was fortunate to get good bosses. Of course, there were cases where people are trying to, pull you down, snub you. Many occasions, especially when you are reaching the higher levels. I will not say at the down level, but when you're reaching the higher levels, there are people who try to pull you down. But stand firm, do your best, and nothing can stop. Is that what I believed, and I have, done the same way.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Well said on that. Moving to my next question here, I want you to sort of talk a bit about the way industry is evolving in terms of embracing technology. So I want to understand, as a public sector company, how is national insurance adopting technology, and how do you see technology playing a role in the advancement of insurance, whether it's different phases, whether it's products, whether it's distribution, whether it's underwriting, claims management. So how are you sort of looking at technology, and how are you sort of adopting it?
Yeah, at National, I would say that we are in the journey of transformation. The digital transformation journey has just begun. Maybe we are a bit late for obvious reasons because we were in public sector. So that edge the private sector had, and the processes are much more cumbersome in the public sector. But nothing stops if you have the intent. We have seen how the government, the Jan Dhan and the UPI moment has happened. So nothing stops. So we have also commenced our journey of digital transformation and aligning to the business objectives, the long term as well as the short term. And the with customer centricity, the regulatory adherences, the market trend, benchmarking with the peers, the global standards, all these things we have done the our digital capacity assessments, and we have started the journey of digital transformation. So we are talking to Insurtechs also, and we have onboarded a few of them. So, like when it comes to like we have done this motor claims assessment through AI based claim assessment. So that we
Oh,
have already started all the public sector, and I think private sector was much ahead in doing it. We have also adopted, and it is helping a lot because you the turnaround time for claim settlement is less, and not much complaints. People are got used to it that the assessment is proper and the correct. They are happy with that. So that is one thing which we have done. Motor that is a major part, and of course for national insurance we have health as a major portfolio. So there also we using the our own in-house developed health claim audit tracker, so which is helping us to detect the fraud cases. And we are going a big way in the data analytics and using AI and ML in fraud analytics, not only for health but across all lines of business. And we have also introduced something like a super app, or both on Android and iOS platforms, to have the end-to-end journey of the customer, right from giving them the feel of the product offerings, onboarding, as you said, the grievance resolution, the claims, everything end to end of the customer journey. So we have introduced the super app both in Android and iOS platform. So
great.
these are the things, and the core insurance, the core solution modernization, all those things are happening. So we are basically, depending on the three pillars of the data, the API, and the cloud. We have started the journey. It will help us, the scalability of it, which was not there. Yeah.
Yes. So, ma'am, when you look at technology, technology can do a lot of things, but one of the things that it really does very powerfully is that it's able to sort of build something at scale, which makes a product that much more affordable. It reduces your turnaround times, especially when it comes to a claim, right? So the fact that you are now looking at embracing technology and embedding technology in various aspects of insurance, In the long run, do you see that impacting pricing in a big way? Do you see that sort of impacting claims decisioning in a big way?
No, pricing, I think you understand because you also are working in insurance, this thing. So pricing is always the more the spread, the pricing, it becomes affordable.
Hmm.
So as you know that IRDA also has set this insurance for all by 2047, an ambitious project, and everybody is working towards it. The entire industry is working towards it. We have the Bima Trinity coming up and all. So everybody is working towards it, and the more the numbers are covered, naturally the pricing comes down and it becomes affordable. That is the whole, the basic premises for making insurance for all, a dream project, so that it becomes affordable. And as we know that government also has taken lot many initiatives by introducing PM Suraksha Bima Yojana and the PM, Jan Arogya Bima Yojana, the health insurance, the life insurance, and the accidental insurance. These three, the numbers are huge, and we know they are very, priced at a very low cost, so which is affordable for the the economically weaker sections. So that way, I think the government subsidization is also playing an important role in insurance inclusion, is what I will tell. And yeah, I think, yeah, that
Okay.
technology also will help, because in a way your distribution cost will come down if you have
Yes.
technology. So that will definitely make the product affordable.
Affordable. Got
Yeah.
it. And also, when you talk about distribution, right? I think one of the efforts, big efforts, I think that the industry is working on is tracking distribution using technology. And like you said, and especially the experience that you illustrated some time back about a farmer walking into your cabin and you being able to sort of deal with the farmer way better than your peers in the office. How do you strike that balance between using technology to maybe sort of get to faster decisioning, or sort of cutting through the different layers of processes, but at the same time retaining that human touch, which is, I think, very essential to insurance distribution.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that the technology is there. Like right now, if you talk about insurance, the two important things: onboarding and the claim settlement. These are the two major phases. Before onboarding, you have to tell the customer about all the features, the fine prints, and all. So how much ever you are giving, if suppose it is a simple product which can be automatically underwritten using technology, then there is no issue. Like if you talk about motor and all, it is a very simple product. But when you come to health and other complicated products, the tech is there. You can give the brochure on the technology, that what is the product, the features, maybe a few FAQs, but still, for a person to understand and comprehend the nitty gritties, the complexities, it becomes difficult. So if it is supported by a WhatsApp or a telephonic call, need not you are in person, but now you have the technology available. Like now we are doing even video calling and all. So that way also you can explain. So that human touch is still there using technology. Same as the time of claim settlement. So if you have the technology, but you make an extra, you walk that extra mile, and connect to the customer, because that connect is very, very important. Technology, it should not disconnect. You should have that connect with the customer. You pick up the phone, call him after the claim settlement. Then the customer feels happy. The brand loyalty will continue. That yes, the company is with me. So the connect is always important. So personal touch is important, but same thing can be done using technology, is what I want to say. You need not be at the door, or he should not be facing you. You can do it by using technology also.
Got it. Great. So, ma'am, I'm going to bring you back to the central theme of our podcast, which is women in insurance. And on that note, I wanted to ask you, how has the sector changed to enable more women to work in insurance? And do you see more women actually coming in insurance and sort of moving up the ladder to reach the top?
Yes, yes,
Tell me what
definitely. I
you
think
do.
as compared to the earlier period where the ratio was very, meager, the women to men, but now I think we see a good amount of women in all the scales, right from the beginning scale to reaching the top. So right now, as you are aware, out of the six public sector insurance companies, what we have, so 50% of the leadership is held by the women.
Wow.
Me at National, Mrs. Girija at New India, and Lavanya at Agriculture. So out of the six, three are women. So that is a very good ratio. I think in insurance, yes. Before us also there were many women leaders at the helm of the affairs. So I think insurance sector that way, yeah, whether it is board representation or in the senior management and at the top, we have substantial amount of women leadership in the insurance industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do
You
you
know,
see?
also all the three of us, I think in our own way, we have our challenges, whether it is growth, whether it is profitability, whether it is market share. And I think everybody is excelling.
But would you call them gender agnostic challenges? I mean, these challenges would exist.
Yeah, it would be in different parlance for each one, uh, because somebody is an agri, a specialty insurance, somebody is already a market leader, and somebody is struggling to turn profitable. These are the three aspects.
Correct.
I think
Yes.
yes, everybody is making an impact and making a difference also.
Got it. Do you say that there are some changes that are needed in the sector for more women to sort of aspire to reach the top? Are there any changes that you think should be enabled, or how do you see it?
No, I think I'm a a student of this old school of thought. Somehow you say that technology is giving you all kind of leveraging of flexible work timings. All those things are there. Work from home we have seen in COVID, but still I believe that these kind of flexibility should be extended during dire essential times to the women, and equally for the men also.
Sure.
But I think coming to the office give you a different kind of connect with the people, the colleagues, the customer, and it's different. If you are in the office, it is different. So the leverage is there, flexibility is there. It has to be utilized only in very essential periods. That is what I believe in. That is my school of thought. Maybe the youngsters will have a different kind of thought, but I feel that yeah, that this gives you much more opportunity to develop by interacting with the people at workplace rather than be at home.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I think with this, we've come to the end of our podcast. But before I let you go, I want to ask you, if you were to sort of speak to women who are in the insurance sector and they're listening to the podcast, what skills do you recommend women specifically should sort of cultivate in order to do well in the sector and also to have the aspirations to reach the top? Are there any specific skills they should sort of cultivate?
I think I strongly believe that there's no shortcut to success. You have to work hard, and that only will take you to greater heights. Dream big, achieve big. This is another one what I would like to say. And of course, in addition to that, I think the skill development or upgradation of the skill, continuous learning is very very important, significant, so that you are relevant to the evolving scenario, landscape of whether it is insurance or any other sector. You have to have that skill upgradation and continuous learning to happen by interacting with the peers, cutting across the verticals, and whenever an exposure or opportunity comes, you have to grab it, learn it. And this is what I would say, and I strongly believe in the 3D formula of success: dedication, determination, and discipline. If you have this, I think nothing can stop. अगर आप ठान लो तो कुछ भी नामुमकिन नहीं है.
Absolutely. So yeah, wonderful. I think the biggest theme of this show has been, the three Ds, right? Dedication, discipline, and determination. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and speaking to me.
Thank you, Dipti. It was a pleasure meeting you virtually and
Pleasure
talking
was
with you.
ours.
Thank you.